Okay, so when you look at the huge, exploding world of blockchain, there are really two massive challenges that keep popping up: scalability and interoperability. I mean, how do you make these things fast enough for everybody to use? And maybe even more important, how do you get them to actually talk to each other? Well, today we're diving into a project that doesn't just try to answer those questions, it's trying to completely redefine the whole game.
So let's kick things off with a simple idea. Think about the biggest names in crypto, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum. They all kind of operate like these separate, isolated islands out in a huge digital ocean. Sure, they have their own people, their own economies, but trying to get from one island to another, it's tough, it's expensive, and honestly, it can be pretty risky. And that right there is the core problem we need to wrap our heads around. And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, what we're calling blockchain's big problem. This world of, well, digital fragmentation. I mean, this really shows you what's going on. Over here, you've got Bitcoin's world, its own ecosystem, its own rules, and over there, you've got Ethereum's world. They're like two giant economic powers that just don't speak the same language. They can't just naturally work together. And you know, this isn't just some minor technical issue. It has real, serious costs. This isolation traps money, it limits liquidity, which just means it's hard to move assets around without crashing the price. It creates huge inefficiencies, it slows down new ideas, and it forces everyone to use these risky centralized bridges just to get from one island to another. But what if you could build the bridges to connect all of these islands? Well, that's the whole vision behind what's being called the Internet of Blockchains. And that's Polkadot's big plan for a connected future. So what is Polkadot, really? The number one thing to get is that it's not just another island. It's a multi-chain network built from day one with a single purpose: to connect all the other blockchains and let them talk, share data, and send value back and forth seamlessly without any of those risky middlemen. And this isn't a small upgrade we're talking about. The source material we're looking at puts it perfectly. Polkadot is creating an internet of blockchains. It's a paradigm shift. That phrase, that really says it all. You know, we're not talking about building a faster horse here. This is like inventing the car. It's a whole new way of thinking. A paradigm shift sounds great, but how does it actually work? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how Polkadot connects everything. It really comes down to two main pieces, something called the relay chain and its parachains. Okay, so right at the heart of the whole thing is the relay chain. You can think of it like the central backbone or the secure foundation for the entire Polkadot network. Its main job isn't to handle a ton of everyday transactions. Instead, its job is to provide security and consensus, making sure everyone agrees on the state of the network for all the other chains plugged into it. So what plugs into that central backbone? That's where parachains come in. These are specialized parallel blockchains. So instead of having one chain that tries to do absolutely everything, you can have one parachain that is laser-focused on finance, another one that's built just for gaming, and another just for digital identity. They get to be experts at their one thing, and they get all their security from that main relay chain. So let's just quickly put that all together. Step 1, all the specialized parachains are busy processing their own transactions all at the same time. Step 2, the main relay chain is acting like the universal security blanket for everybody. And step 3, what do you get? A network that's super scalable because the work is spread out, and truly interoperable because everyone is connected to that secure central hub. Which brings us to the most important question of all. So what? Who cares? Well, let's talk about why all this tech actually matters, how connecting these chains unlocks incredible real-world value. This quote from our source just frames the whole conversation perfectly. Interoperability is not just a technical feature, it's a market enabler. See, it's not about making things a little neater for developers, it's about fundamentally changing what's even possible for the entire digital economy. So what does being a market enabler actually do? Well, for starters, that unlocks all that money that's been trapped on different chains. It lowers transaction fees and it makes the experience of using this stuff way, way better. But the biggest thing, it makes totally new kinds of applications possible. I mean, just imagine a DeFi app that lets you use your Bitcoin as collateral for a loan on an Ethereum platform, all in one single smooth transaction. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. That kind of power is what paves the way for a real mainstream audience. And look, a system this big and complex can't just stay the same forever. It has to be able to evolve. That's why Polkadot was built with decentralized governance from the start.
The people who actually hold the network's tokens get to vote on its future. This makes sure the whole connected system, all those bridges and parachains, can grow and adapt together, guided by the community itself, not some central company.
So let's zoom out for the finale. The future of the internet, what everyone calls Web3, is going to be all about being connected. And that's exactly where Polkadot is positioned to play a truly foundational role. And this right here might be the most crucial takeaway of all. Polkadot is not just another blockchain, it's infrastructure. You have to stop thinking of it as just one more crypto project on the list and start thinking of it like the underlying highway system that an entire economy is built on. It's the base layer that enables everything else to happen on top of it.
And why is being infrastructure so important? Well, because as the really big players, the huge companies, the financial institutions, start seriously using blockchain tech, they are not going to be okay with being locked into one little isolated ecosystem. For them, the ability to communicate across different networks, interoperability, it won't be a nice little feature. It's going to be an absolute non-negotiable requirement.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. We are already moving past those isolated digital islands. The real question isn't if a connected, interoperable future is going to matter. The real question is how soon it becomes the undisputed standard. And when that day comes, a network that was built for that exact purpose from day one is going to be right there, at the very center of everything.